The return of box office earnings have finally come in. In fact, I would say they're doing pretty well. The showtimes are filling up around the globe, even in the United States and in New York City especially, and the international audiences have started to bring in that revenue at a pretty decent rate. So let's look at what's happening in the theaters and what the new earnings are going to look like. They won't be the same, but at least we can see an appreciable gain as time passes. So here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, hiss and foes, welcome to the Culture Casino.
Godzilla vs. Kong is making money. It's actually quite impressive. In China alone, it is setting a pace that is equal to the release of Godzilla King of the Monsters, which I think you would agree is impressive because we're coming off of, a global crisis, and yet this film is equaling its performance to its predecessor. The film is so big in China, in fact, that it made up 82% of the market share. That's pretty substantial when you consider how many screens they have open currently. And that type of performance has actually yielded a box office receipt total of $70.3 million in its opening weekend. That's fantastic. In fact, there was a great performance for GVK in Mexico, Russia, and Australia. And this bodes very well for the opening that's coming up here in the US and may push it over the $27.6 million projection for that film as part of its 3-day premiere. Now, overall, this is the best start for a film in foreign markets since 2019. So it's really, really impressive. Domestically, we have to wait a couple more days before its official release. That I'm referring to GVK, but that made room for the 3-day premiere of the movie that hit the theaters this weekend, Nobody, which destroyed all of its projections and raked in $6.7 million. This was nearly $4 million more than the projections. It also made up for several films that were running out of legs, like Raya and the Last Dragon, Chaos Walking, and a new film, The Courier, which are all falling off rather quickly right now. I think going forward, we're going to see films with the least amount of political nonsense performing on the higher side of the projections and actually exceed them. These films are likely to be action, horror, or adventure genres and will quickly be approved or rejected by the audiences based on their perceived slights or swipes at the audience themselves. You gotta wonder. On the larger side of the equation is the bulk of the other projects in the hopper for all of the studios. Now, the larger budget projects may arrive in the same form and flavor as the other rejected entertainment, yielding pretty disappointing results, I would anticipate. The audience is already, or was already clear, very clear, about being tired of the agenda that's baked into these films. It is possible that the studios will take note of the audiences, we hope, that they are attracting, and they will evolve their product to suit that particular audience, which is the bulk of moviegoers. I doubt it, though, because they don't seem to have learned as of yet. They continue to attack the audience, and I don't know. It's not very subtle. It could be a few more years before we get to see something other than insulting content. And I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm wrong. But based on production timetables, development timetables, etc., we may have 3 to 5 more years of this pain. The fear in Hollywood should be most people have moved on from anything that they're making entirely. Day and date releases are not going to grant the financial windfalls that are required to keep the big budget productions going, and this will drastically, either of those will work. It will drastically reduce the number of tentpoles that are produced by the 3 major studios. And if Hollywood continues to go down this particular path, they could end up being nothing more than distributors of other countries' films, which I guess technically, with that being a Legendary Pictures production, GVK actually is that exactly. I think the performance of Godzilla here in the U.S. is this coming weekend, and the market legs of Nobody will give us some important indications of what to expect in the future. I anticipate that Godzilla will overperform its $27 million number for its 3-day opening projection weekend. I think it'll do it substantially, actually. And if it does, studios may reconsider release date shuffles that are going to happen or going forward. I think maybe Disney, in this case, jumped the gun by pushing more and more films back in their timetable. Although, they may understand at this point, with the slowing growth of their streaming option, Disney Plus, that they really do need theatrical money. I hope so anyway. Regardless, independent creators here on this very platform are putting out great content each and every day. In fact, you're seeing huge channel growth for channels of every kind. And there's a lot of great content out there put together by individuals, so please support them in whatever way you can. And of course, that's just a fancy way for me to say support independent creators. To wrap up, I ask you a couple of questions, at least. Kind of normal now. Do you expect to see either Nobody or GVK, or possibly both? Or maybe you've seen both of them. That would be cool. Do you think we will see longer legs for Nobody and a possible projection-breaking opening weekend for Godzilla vs. Kong? Please feel free to leave your comments in the field below, because I'd love to hear your responses, and since there are so many of you spread across the entire globe, I think some of you may already have seen this film. I'm very interested. I want to hear your impressions, because I've seen nothing but positive reviews for Godzilla vs. Kong, and now there are already spoilers out there, so guys, avoid as much news as you possibly can if you want to see this film in as unspoiled a way as possible. Although I'm afraid you've seen a lot of the action scenes. There are some pretty decent fights, but I think the major complaint is they aren't long enough. Yeah. Anyway, they're great monster movies, so I hope you get a chance to see them. Whether it's in the theater or at home, definitely check them out. Be sure to take care of yourself, take care of others, wash your hands, of course, because it's good hygiene. And until next time, bye. Hey there, one last quick note before I let you go, and before we make it to the end of this video. CultureCasino have a brand new Teespring store. That's right, you can now go to Teespring, look up CultureCasino, or use the link in the video below, and pick out some handsome and beautiful CultureCasino merchandise with many different designs and styles and colors, many different items. I was actually surprised at all of the things that you could create, and I have some more designs and items on the way here shortly. But, you know, if you want to support the channel in that way, there is some merch. Otherwise, here comes the ending. Thanks for visiting today. Be sure you're subscribed and hit that for alerts.
Yay!
Of course, like and share all of the videos that you can, as it helps with the algorithm. Have a great day.